blade's doing pretty good. It's not too dull. Don't try this at home. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna cut up some big red oaks on the sawmill, and you guys come on for the ride. Should be fun. We got Gizmo Dog here. It's a beautiful spring morning. Just happy to be alive. Let's get started. What do you see, buddy? Stuff that blew up on this? We had some really bad storms here about 2 weeks ago. Blew down a bunch of trees and power was out for, some people had power out for like 6 days. And yeah, you can see where the stuff blew against the front of the sawmill and stuck. That was how fast the wind blew. It was flowing sideways. All right, let's see if I can get this thing. This is a big old log. I brought my tape measure down because I want to see what size it is. This is pretty much to the capacity of this sawmill. So right here, going acrossways, we're at 20 inches. This thing will cut 23 inches, so we're safe. About 21 inches right there. So we'll check this in. Yeah, we're in good shape. It's got a little bit of egg on it. There's really no good way to lay this on the sawmill, and this is a heavy log. It's about 2 years old, so it's been out here for a good little bit. We will definitely have to work and manage this particular saw for a little bit till we get it down to a manageable size. So right now I'm gonna try to get it to scooch over to the back. Who out there knows what scooch means? You can just leave me a comment. Scooch over. We'll see if I can scooch this thing over. That outer side is pretty punky. That's pretty much it. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get a log dog on this. It's setting at the back pretty tight. You put my log dogs down just a little bit, that might let them go. That might let it go a little further. It's a big old log. It's right now kind of like on its pivot point. See it right there. That might have given me just enough I needed to put a log dog on. The outside being all punky is not going to be great either. Yeah, I got that in there pretty good. All right, let's see if we can crank this thing up, let it warm up, we'll be ready to cut. All right, choke on. Good start, low engine. And I spoke too soon. Hope it didn't boil water in the gas the other day. It was raining sideways. We're running a Turbo 7 by Wood-Mizer on here. It's a 7-degree blade. And what I'm going to do today, instead of having big, heavy pieces, I'm going to make a few more extra cuts on these outer cuts. So the parts or the pieces are small and thin and light enough for me to pick them up by myself. Tanya had dental surgery. She's running the camera, but she can't help me at all. She can't lift anything heavy. So I'm gonna have to make do. This blade is not exactly new. It's got several cuts on it, so I'm not sure how it's gonna hold up. blade's doing pretty good. It's not too dull. Probably gonna be a pretty heavy piece right here. I sat around and did exactly what I said I wasn't gonna do. But I think I can manage it. I'll pull it away. Pretty good, pretty solid looking wood. So a little bit of bark here. All right, that'll get us past this portion here, and then we'll roll the log. So just for those people that are interested, right here, the thickest part of the cut, we're going to be cutting about 20 inches, which is pretty much the width that you can cut with this. So this does have it has a 13.5, 14 horsepower engine, but you can get a 10 horsepower engine from Frontier. I think you'll have just as much luck with that as I do with this 14. The reality is, I never even strained this engine. Here we go. This big, wide, thick cut. 2-inch slab. Kind of dull blade, dirty log. So one of the things I do like about this new grapple, my small grapple, it's a small grapple and it has some limitations, but this one has a little bit of a lip, so when I roll back the grapple all the way, it makes a nice place to set boards. And I really didn't have that with a small grapple, so I really am going to like that. Yeah, I think I said that twice, so that means it's true. Watch out, Gizmo Doggy. Again, because Tanya can't do this right now, I'm going to have to be creative. Probably should have moved that piece of wood under the front tire, but it's going to work out. So all I'm going to do now is to slide this big heavy thing out here, go around to the other side and put it on the front so I don't have to pick it up. I would imagine that's a good 100 pounds or 80 to 100 pound board. I don't know, I over exaggerate stuff. It's probably only 30 pounds. No, that's a little bit more than 30 pounds. We'll set that back on the sawmill in a few minutes and we'll cut the edges off of that. I'm not going to use that just as a live edge. I'm just going to make a board out of that. Okay, so we're gonna just push this forward a little bit and pull this out, turn it around, and extend it so we can turn it over. I gotta rotate it. Yeah, so I gotta rotate it first. So since I already have this this board on the grapple, I'm going to try to do this with the cant hook. Don't try this at home. It takes somebody without a lick of sense to do this. It's one little turn. I'm going to keep pulling from the bottom. Whoever that was that told me to put a wedge onto this, thank you very much. I think I've had a couple people tell me that, but it took a little while for it to take. Okay, so there, if we can push that up there, if we can roll this log forward and get it square, but pretty close, pretty close. We'll tighten this up, should get it. May have to take a different bite. Whew, these big logs are tough to work with. Okay, I'm flush against the back. Still gonna go ahead and crank this down pretty tight. Woo, I'm out of breath. All I'm doing now is just, I got it tight and I'm just wiggling that log back and forth so that it seats up against the back of the backstops. This log will get lighter as we cut more off of it. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Yeah, it's been sitting out for at least 2 years. It's not looking bad. It's pretty solid. Really good looking red oak. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, that's heavy. Put the back stops all the way high so we can turn over one more time. And then I'll put the short back stops in. It's pretty heavy. That's where I had that split. I need to leave the motor running so you guys can't hear me breathing so hard in the microphone. Whew. That's tough work right there. Still, I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing. Well, maybe one, but we'll just leave that alone. All right, so I'm gonna switch back over to, now I've got a good straight edge. I'm gonna switch back over to the short backstops and just have this little portion here sticking up. And what that'll do is make me not have to worry about the backstops anymore, or hitting the backstops, because these backstops will be below the lowest cut. I have hit my backstops, and I have always heard that saying, those are, that as far as hitting backstops, they're the people that will and the people that have. So if you run a sawmill, you're gonna hit the backstop, it's just part of it. So far I've only done it once, but I'm sure I'll do it again at some point. That's a chunk of log right there. I generally don't like putting this big old log on just because of how heavy it is to work. But we're building some big old, raised bed gardens. And we're gonna make these these all in 2x6s. And what we're gonna end up doing is flaming the inside, charcoal on the inside, so it doesn't rot as fast. And the reason we're using these is, first off, these logs have been on the ground for 2 years. Second off is we have them. So that is really the main use. I would rather use like maybe a cedar or a white oak, something like that. But this is what I have. And reality is, by the time these rot out, Tanya will want me to change something anyway. So yeah, not really a big deal. Yeah, that outside is pretty punky. You hear that, Gizmo? Thing backfired. I cranked it back up and it backfired. It scared me and Gizmo to death. All right, so what I've got now is just a hair over 6 inches. I'm gonna come down and make a 6-inch cant, flip it up and do 2x6s all the way through. Some of them will be very structural, some of them won't be. But in like 1 or 2 it's gonna be in the pith, and that's okay, we understand it. Again, it's not really a structural build that we're building. These right here are some nasty boards. There's actually probably some 2x12s right here. Matter of fact, let's look at it and see. Yeah, there's actually at least an oak 2x10 there. The reality is, I'd say a grade B 2x12. Just some punky on the edge, but not much. Still pretty strong. So I'm going to take what I call a veneer cut. So I'm just going to bring this thing down to 6 inches exactly. whatever's left is whatever's left, and then we'll turn it up on its side and go ahead and go through and make 2x6s, which is what our goal is, our aim for all of them. I'm just going to go ahead and make another, and get another 2-inch board on this side of the pit, and then I'll turn them all up and split them into 2x6s the other way. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down and cut 2 inches up from the bottom bump, and that way I don't have to move this right now. It's going to leave a little sliver in the middle. Let me dump my bucket first. I use my little dump bed on the back of the tractor for moving storm stuff, and it's over at the house right now. So I'm just going to come down to an actual true 2 inches below above the deck, and then whatever's left in the middle will be a little slab. What could go wrong? I will say this, if you have the big engine, if you get the OS23 with a big engine, it definitely pulls through this heavy oak stuff a lot better than the little 7.5, 7 horsepower. You can do it. You absolutely can do it, but yeah, the bigger engine makes it go a lot faster, even with a dull blade like we got here. All right, so I ended up with about an inch board in the middle. Go ahead and put our backstops in, and what we're going to do is set these backstops where they're roughly about 6 inches. We'll take a 6-inch cut. We'll flip everything up, take a 6-inch cut, or 12-inch cut, and then a 6-inch cut. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll take a 12-inch cut and then a 6-inch cut, and that'll give us 2 6-inch boards, and that's what we want. Give me enough leverage and I can move the world. Look at the grain on that, isn't that pretty? Not a bad throw. I could be smarter. That's always an option, just to be smarter. Making marks in the wood. You know what? I'm gonna have to cut this one separately because it's got a live edge on both sides. So we're gonna make one 12-inch cut. Whatever we get's what we get. And then we're gonna make one 6-inch cut. And the bottom one, all the bottom ones should be a good 2x6. So I left a little bit. I cut this 12 inches strong so that I had a blade width left. Now I'm just gonna put this on 6. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust my back stops. A little bit extra work, but oh well. There might be a 2x4 in that. Maybe a 2x4 in that. So this is what we got out of that big red oak. We got 9 2x6s. Some of them are a little punky in areas, but the majority of them are stable. You got 3 2x4s and there's 2 1x6s in there. And then over here in this pile, there's still 2 big, what do they call those? Slabs. I'm tired of slabs. So there's 2 big slabs over here. My mind's not thinking about that. But anyway, we got 2 slabs over here that Tanya wants to keep for some other kind of projects. So we could have got at least probably 3 more 2x6s out of those. But it's a good start, good start.